In today's video, I went back and revisited 4 of my favorite zombie maps of all time. And the maps I decided to go back and play are Dead or Eisendrache, Dead of the Night, Zombies in Spaceland, and Mob of the Dead. And before I forget to mention this, the Dead of the Night gameplay was recorded at 3 in the morning. I randomly woke up one night and I'm like, let me get it out the way. So if you guys want to go ahead and skip that portion of the video, feel free. There will be chapters on the video itself. But anyways, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I appreciate your support and I'll talk to you guys later. Alright, we're starting off in Dead or Eisendrache. I know a lot of people love this map. They consider it to be the best map in Black Ops 3. However, to me, Dead or Eisendrache, it's fun. I really like this map. However, the best map for me, it's Setsubo. I really like Setsubo. I know it's a hot take, but you can never go wrong with Setsubo in my opinion. I also really like Gorot. Revelations was okay. And I don't know, when Revelations came out, I really didn't know how to feel about the map. I actually forgot to activate the landing pad over there on spawn, but that's alright, we'll go back to that. It's been a while since I've done the Easter egg on this map, but it's a short one, it's not too bad. Okay, go ahead and get this and turn on the power. Easy, let's go. Alright, so forget that. This map to me was pretty solid. I spent a lot of hours back when I was a little 15-year-old kid playing this map. A lot of fond memories, if I do say so myself. We'll go ahead and buy a gum and get the KRM, and we'll take this for now. We're still gonna knife. First things first, we gotta feed the dragons. Easiest step ever. Feeded like 7-8 zombies. I don't think it changes in solo. I forgot to grab the zombie shield parts. It's alright. I got one right here. We'll go ahead and head back to spawn and turn on the landing pad. The bows on this map, they were alright. I felt like they could have been a little bit stronger, but I guess Treyarch doesn't like overpowered wonder weapons. They're still fun to use though, I'll give them that. Especially the lightning bolt and the void bow. I always forget the one spawn over here. Excuse me, and here we go. And we'll go ahead and get started feeding the dragon. And we are using overpowered gobblegums. Only reason why is because, well, I haven't really played Black Ops 3 that much, and I'm just trying to make things a little bit easier on myself, and I guess we did the landing pad, I wasn't paying attention. We are using overpowered gobblegums once again, and we could always do another run without the overpowered gobblegums, just run classics. And the last piece for the shield is going to be down in the gravity room. We'll grab that later. For now, let's go ahead and focus on feeding the dragon. Here's the cheat code if you guys want to beat the Easter egg. For the Panzers, just use a shotgun. It'll make your life a million times easier. And that's the thing that would bother me about like the older maps, whenever you had to do like a feeding process, like the dog and Mob of the Dead and the dragon here. They take forever to eat the zombie, swallow them up, and then you're able to kill another zombie. It's kind of irritating looking because you're trying to rush through the Easter egg. You're taking your sweet time. I don't know why my bubblegum just disappeared here, but it's alright. Go ahead and try and roll for a perkaholic. Hopefully we can get it. And look at that, we got our perkaholic. Make sure I get rid of these. I want to kill zombies by accident. I remember back in my Xbox days, I did all of the Easter eggs for this game, except for Shadows, because I never found people to play with. And then I did this Easter egg, Gorot and Setsubo solo. It took me like 2.5 hours to complete. And now that I think back to it, I'm like, how did I have the patience and the time to do all of those Easter eggs? Because they would take me a while to do. And back in the day, I didn't have the money to buy liquid divinium to gamble for gobblegums. So I had to depend on classics because I didn't want to spend my megas. The good old days. Alright, that dragon is done. Let's go ahead and continue on feeding the dragons. I know we need to get the bow and then upgrade the bow first before we can commence anything. Just might as well go ahead and turn this on. And if you guys do like Black Ops 3, let me know what your favorite map is on that game. I'm always interested in hearing you guys' opinions on the maps, on the gameplay mechanics, all of that. I will sacrifice a zombie. Did we get the zombie shield part? Let me go look for it. And it's right there. So low-key, like the movement on mouse and keyboard throws me off. I really do not like using the advanced movement on mouse and keyboard. And the only reason why is because I got really used to using the movement on controller. And playing it on mouse and keyboard feels a little bit awkward sometimes. And you might think that I'd be using the controller right now, but my PS5 controller doesn't seem to work on my PC at the moment, so I gotta take a look and figure that out. Because I was playing Dying Light the beast on the controller because I didn't want to play it on mouse and keyboard, and it was working for a couple hours and it kind of just stopped working. Now I just gotta figure out what to do with it or buy a new controller, so we shall see. Now I know there's a couple tricks to the boss fight for this map, and honestly the boss fight for this map is not that complicated. It's actually pretty simple. It could get a little irritating because you got the boss spamming attacks on you, and you also have like all the skeletons and the panzers spawning in, and sometimes the dogs are spawning as well. So it could get a little bit overwhelming. It's not too bad though. Just gotta be careful with the panzers. Stay away from the chalk charges. However, I do want to roll for another gum to get more points because we are gonna need them. Alright, that one's done. We can go ahead and move on to the final dragon. I did want to try and build the void bow. However, I don't remember what the keeper skulls are at. Because I know there's like, what, like 9, 8? But upgrading that one's not that bad from what I remember. The hardest one for me was the fire bow. And it's not that it's hard, it's just really annoying. Especially when you have to do the launcher step where you have to launch yourself and shoot the ring of fires to spawn in. Oh, I'll take that, but you have to get rid of all of these real quick. That's the thing that pisses me off about Widow's Wine, is that sometimes it can get in the way, especially if you're trying to hold a zombie. You know, I gotta say, man, the engine on this game just feels really good. I don't know what it is about the engine, but like the movement, the gunplay feels really nice compared to the old Call of Duties. This one and BO4, I really like the engines on those games. I really don't like the new Call of Duty engines they have, especially with that Call of Duty hub thing. The games all feel the same. Should be about done here. Now I can start upgrading the bow. Yeah, I can build the zombie shield. Oh my god, okay. We gotta finish the round, I guess. The good thing is that we were able to get the Bowie knife to make some good points. There we go. Bow is ready to go. Now I gotta start my upgrade. But thankfully the lightning bow does not take that long. However, getting the souls into the urns is gonna be the longest part. But I think it only takes like 5 zombies. So we should be good. We'll be able to upgrade it pretty quickly. Get rid of these because they get in the way. Actually, let me see if I can start hitting them now. Alright, we got that one. I don't know if I should kill the zombies or just hold on, but maybe I should because they're gonna get in the way, especially if I'm trying to do the one from the rocket launch pad. Just do them from up here. If I remember correctly, it should be right here. Oh my god, we actually got it. That's so cool. Alright, let's go ahead and do the most annoying one in my opinion. I always mess this one up. Well, not mess it up, but I always miss. If we can get it first try. Every time's a charm. Not with the zombies pushing me, oh my god. Alright, we got that step done. Let's go back to the gravity room. Let's see if we can knock this out right now. Hopefully the anti-grav doesn't turn off on me. It's turning off. Yep. Thankfully we don't gotta flip the round. We just gotta wait for the anti-gravity to come back. And let me check Pack-a-Punch. I don't think I teleported the parts. This is the one thing that irritates me about this map, is having to wait for the anti-gravity to turn back on. Because when you're upgrading the lightning bow and the wolf bow, you have to do the wall runs and all that shit. All good though. We're making decent progress. We're only in round 4 and we're about halfway done with the lightning bow upgrade. And there we go, it's done. Now we gotta do the urn step, which is not that hard. The only one that irritates me is the one over there next to that shield location, because having to walk all the way down over there to that little bridge and then shoot the bonfire. 2, 3, it's 5 if I'm remembering correctly. There we go, this should be 5. We'll knock it out the way now. Might as well. Easy. I'll take care of the 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna be missing a zombie. Actually, let me go ahead and pop these raindrops so we can get some extra points. I almost grabbed that nuke. Oh my god, I forgot there was a box location here. I'm gonna try and hit for an XM53 because that's gonna be our main thing for the boss fight. I might take the Brecci, I might not. Or the KRM. The crazy part is that whenever I don't need the XM53, that's when I get it the most. And I forgot to open this door, which is okay. We still have another raindrops. However, I think the OG Dark Matter looks really nice. The only bad thing is that back in the old CODs, a lot of the camos did not look very good because they ain't cover enough of the gun. But with this one, it covers just enough. I wonder if I can open this. Thank you. Let's see if we can get it first try, hopefully. I know there's a trick to it where you have to like aim towards the smoke, but we'll see. And we overshot it. Alright, that's fine. Let's see if we can go ahead and knock this out. If not, we'll just go ahead and knock out the one on the launch pad, and then we'll just come back to this one. But I really want to get it out the way. Okay, we got it. Alright, we're good. Let's go ahead and make our way to the launch pad. Launch. I keep saying lunch. And then we'll be able to pack a punch. I think I'm gonna keep the Brechi, and then we'll go ahead and grab that piece for the Ragnaroks as well. That should be the last zombie. Yeah. Let me turn this on. We'll go ahead and grab the piece first, and then we'll do the bonfire after it. So the trick here, right, is as soon as the rocket test starts, this little lever is gonna go down, it's gonna open, and you'll be able to raise the lever up, and then we'll right back inside, let the launch test finish, and then we can grab the Ragnarok piece at the teleporter, which is a super easy step. And then we gotta wait for the Panzer to spawn in, and then we can grab the other piece once we kill him. It should be super easy with the Brechi, hopefully. I hope it's as overpowered as it was in multiplayer. You know, as annoying as it is to wait for stuff to happen around the map, I still prefer steps like these and the ones in Black Ops 4, like in 9. I overshot it, dude. The easiest one to do, and I messed it up. I forgot to grab the piece. Oh my goodness. I forgot that the pieces despawn. I don't know why I forgot. I blanked out. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Alright, so we're gonna do the thing again where with the rocket step, let's not mess it up this time. So once this one turns green, we can pull that lever and then we'll grab the piece. Alrighty, so now that we have that, we have to go collect the final piece of the arrow, my bad. But once we collect that, we can go ahead and finish upgrading the lightning bow, which is super simple. Except if you're me, if you have shitty aim, now we'll wait for this to finish and then we'll pick up the arrow. And I still gotta activate the trap so we can get the other piece for the Ragnaroks, but we'll go ahead and knock this out first since we got plenty of zombies, and I think you need like 20 zombies to finish up filling up the box. And then once you're back here, what you gotta do, place this right here and you get a free max ammo. We throw this out, and then now we just gotta kill 20 zombies. Alright, so we're making decent progress. We still gotta do the best step in all of Black Ops 3, which is the Wisp. I mean, solo is not too bad. I know there's a trick to it. So the trick that I'm talking about is once you shoot the Wisp, it will automatically spawn next to like the nearest spawn location. All right, now we gotta wait for the bow to appear, and then we can continue on with the following steps. Then we want to pick this up, and then we can go ahead and put it back. We're gonna go ahead and pick up the unupgraded bow, and then we'll make our way to the teleporter. And if you shoot the center right here where the little dot is on the second one, you activate the Easter egg. You're supposed to shoot both, like all the little balls, but it's easier to shoot the center because you'll only waste one arrow. Now we pick up our lightning bow. We got to do the Wisp step. All right, so that's a spawn point right there. That's another spawn right there. If they're not here, they're most likely going to be in spawn. Never mind, it's right here. Okay, all I gotta do is just shoot it once. Actually, I'll check the church because sometimes they go backwards instead of going on to the next one. So if it's not there, it's not there. So it's going to be in spawn. And you guys will see what I'm talking about. It's not here, so it's going to be on the tire, hopefully. I can't imagine another location being nearest to that one. Okay, never mind. I guess the trick doesn't work. I thought it would spawn right there. So I think I'm like 90% sure it's going to be in the power room. It's not there, so it's definitely in the power room. And you do have like 5 minutes to shoot the Wisp. If not, it's going to despawn. Alright, that's our second one. You gotta try again next round, which is wonderful. In the meantime, let's go ahead and activate the Death Ray. That way we can get that piece to spawn in, and then we can go ahead and we're able to start the actual Easter egg. I mean, we already started it, but we can do the other steps. And then we'll make our way from the church all the way around to spawn. It's over there, so we gotta go to the Wonder Fizz over here. Make our way down, and then we come over here. And nice, we just gotta wait for the Panzer to spawn in. We'll be good to go. Then we can go ahead and flip this over, but we'll do that once we put the fuses in there. Alright, we got the Wisp done. Finally, that took a while. Now we can go ahead and go back in time and pick up some stuff. So now here, all you gotta do is grab these fuses right here. And grab this whole canister right here. And then now you gotta watch Croft. He's gonna input a code, and you gotta memorize that code. Also, you got spaceship, lightning bolt, spaceship. We'll go ahead and grab the final piece for the Ragnaroks, and we're good to go on that. Now what we gotta do is head back to the Death Ray, pop these in there, and then we change this to that. And then now the computer over here is gonna light up. We gotta input that code that we got, which is spaceship, lightning bolt, spaceship. We hear that. Now we gotta head back down to the vault, and then we pick up some fuses. So you come back down here and you pick this up. And then now we gotta play a Simon Says game, which is super easy. However, a quick tip that I got for that step is make sure that you keep a good distance from the zombies, because one time they pushed me as I was pressing F on my keyboard, and they made me enter the wrong symbol. Anyway, so sorry, I kind of blanked out there, but put the death rate back to destroy, because that will not work if you leave it on protect. I did not mean to grab that. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's fine. That's okay. So go ahead and pop this. Spaceship. Do the first one. Lightning bolt. Spaceship. You got the circle right here. Spaceship again. Soccer field right here. Alright, so that one's done. You'll see the like this shining right here. That means you did it. Now we gotta go back to the rocket test site. And we gotta do the same thing. And like I mentioned, always keep a good distance from the zombies because they'll mess you up. Alright, now that we got that step done, we're gonna go ahead and come back over here. And then we hit this button and Dempsey should be shot down from outer space. So now we come back down here and then we pick up the grill device and we got Dempsey right there. But I do gotta flip the round because I wasn't able to do the wisp whip in time. And then now we gotta redo it all over again because we can't continue with the other step. I mean, we technically can do it, but you'll be stuck until you do this step. I hope it doesn't glitch out again. No, it's stuck. Okay, nice. It's right here. Look at that. Oh my god. I should spawn in Samantha's room now. Oh no, it's spawned here. We'll check the power room first and then we'll go ahead and check Samantha's room. So recently I tried a new monster flavor. I tried the apple flavor they have in the UK. Now I didn't go all the way to the UK just to try a monster flavor. There's a store here where I live that sells like imported like snacks, and they had all these crazy monster flavors, and I looked it up and that flavor is exclusive to the UK, which is pretty cool. It was really good. Alright, so we're almost done. All you gotta do is input this here, pick up this, and we should be good to go. Put that in there, and then we'll have a keeper spawn in. Now we gotta escort him around the map. Oh, unfortunately, he does take a lot of souls, so we should be in the boss fight hopefully by round 17. Oh my god, about time. It does take a while. That's what sucks about this step, but the cool thing about this step is that if you're doing it solo, you only gotta do the bow that you build, or that's if you build more than one bow. But we're not gonna do that because that's gonna take way too long. I'm surprised there wasn't a Panzer that spawned in. I could have sworn there's always a Panzer that spawns in after the second one. And that step is done. Now you gotta escort this fool back down to the pyramid. He'll go into the little portal and do his thing. Alright, so before we go into the boss fight, let's go ahead and try and get the XM53 because it'll make our lives so much easier. Alright, so we're good to go. Let's go ahead and try and hit for that XM53. Hopefully we can get it out the box. If we get the haymaker, that'd be pretty nice too, because that shotgun is way better than this one. There we go. Alright, so we're just gonna go ahead and pack a punch this real quick, and then we'll head on to the boss fight. We'll just go with the KRM. And then now, all we gotta do, you pull out your Ragnaroks and you do this. And then now we're in the boss fight, which will be super simple. We gotta charge up our Ragnaroks as fast as possible though. The main trick here is to keep moving, do not stop, and just avoid his attacks. His attacks are pretty easy to dodge though. That's a cool thing. Alright, we got our Ragnaroks ready, so we'll be able to do this step real quick. All right, now we come back here, put this right here, and then now he's gonna light up his chest, let into him. Make sure you pick up your Ragnaroks, and then now be careful with the Panzers because they're gonna start spawning in, and we'll just run around in circles. Make sure you stay moving. Try and kill them as they're spawning in. It'll make your life so much easier as well. Now let's go ahead and try and kill as many zombies as we can so we can recharge the Ragnaroks. Okay, so we couldn't get our Ragnaroks to recharge in time. I lied. But just in case, we'll just camp back here behind the pillar so we don't die. All right, never mind. We got it. All right, so we're in the final stage now of the boss fight, which is, like I said, it's super simple, man. It's not that complicated. I know it was like Treyarch's like first attempt at a real boss fight. Honestly, it's not too bad. It could be a little bit annoying. So now we just gotta wait for this fool to come back into the middle. All right, so now we just take him out. And that's it. That's the Eisendrache's boss fight. And just don't forget, there is one more step after this. So just wait for the little seal to break and then you'll be able to pick it up. And then now we return to the computer where we played Simon Says. And make sure you don't have a dog rounds active because they'll kill you during the cutscene, which is stupid. But that's it. We're sending the rockets to the moon. Alright, so that was the Eisendrache. Let's move on to my favorite BO4 map, Dead of the Night. Alrighty, so we are in Dead of the Night. As you guys know, this is my favorite Black Ops 4 map. And today we're going to be knocking out the Easter egg. Alright, give me 1 second. I gotta turn down my volume. Alright, so this map, honestly, the Easter egg is really good. It could get a little bit complicated at times, but overall, this Easter egg is so much fun to do. So for now, we're just gonna go ahead and open up all the map. and then we'll start collecting items. Alright, so we got most of the map opened up. We're still missing a couple doors, but that's alright. Start getting the symbols, so there's none there. I don't know why, even though the crystal is not on any of those jars, I like shooting them. And let's go ahead and look for the zombie shield part. It should be... I do forget some of the locations at times because this map, you have to memorize a lot of things. And when I first started playing this map, the layout was a bit confusing. However, once I started practicing and doing the Easter egg by myself, it became really fun to do. Alright, so we're missing the last piece of the shield. That's fine, we can always pop one of these. And then we'll go ahead and grab the piece for the wonder weapon. And then we'll go ahead and get started on the second crystal. So this map actually took me a while to learn. I think I get the hang of it maybe after 6-7 games. This one did take me a while. And Voyage of Despair took me a while to learn too, but that one didn't take me as long. And then the cool thing about this map is that once you do the Easter egg once or twice by yourself, every time you do it, it gets easier. Forgot to grab the charcoal over here. So in case you guys didn't know, we are doing a road to level 1000 in this game. And I just found out that if you play on hardcore difficulty, you get a lot more XP from kills. Especially if you do melee kills. The only bad thing about it though is that if you're trying to do the Alpha Omega ballistic knife strat, the riskiest part is trying to get the ballistic knives out the box. If there's one map I highly recommend you guys try out on this game, it's this one. It is so much fun and the wonder weapon's pretty cool. It can actually carry you to high rounds. Just don't get overwhelmed whenever you're trying to learn the map because it does take a while. Alright, so now that we did those little crystals, we can go ahead and start the mini lockdowns. Well, not really lockdowns, but just the mini rituals, I guess you can call them. I personally really like the Easter egg steps. They don't feel repetitive and they all feel really unique. So we're going to try and knock out the Easter egg as fast as we possibly can. Hopefully it don't take too long. That's one of those things I had to get used to on this game, is having like automatic juggernaut every time you spawn in. And then going back and playing the older games feels a little bit awkward. Out here there's another piece for the silver bullets, and this one can be a little pain in the ass to find because it blends in with the environment. Let's go ahead and knock out the vampires. Go ahead and pop Sparkaholic. Hopefully we get something good. And we got a decent perks. Stamina up and quick revivers. Solid. And mule kick. The only bad perk that we got is Blood Wolf's Bite. I mean, it's a good perk, but sometimes Luna comes out at the worst times. Alright, we got 2 tuning forks. Now we only need 1 more, which is the easiest to get. Alright, now we just need the last part for the silver bullets, and that one's gonna be over here. We're gonna have to use this. Oh well. Alright, we got 2 energy cores. That's all we needed. And the bad thing about those cores is that they have a lot of spawn points. So the way I memorized the symbols for the wonder weapon, to me they look like letters. So I just write down like green D, blue D. That was a green D. Let me write that down before I forget. And now we just gotta find the last zombie shield part and then escort this ghost. So if you guys do get that creepy baby doll, it's gonna be over here. And now just follow this ghost around. You know, the annoying thing about these ghosts is that sometimes they take the long way to get to some areas, which is really annoying, especially when you're trying to do the one step where you turn into a ghost when you shoot the wonder weapon in the graveyard. And then that's another thing I don't like about BO4 is that the zombies just automatically die. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab our last tuning fork. And that should be it. Let's go build the silver bullets and we'll be able to open up Pack-a-Punch. Alright, we got our silver bullets. Hopefully Luna doesn't kill the wolf because that would ruin the entire game. And I actually like the perks that we got right now. Actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and get the wonder weapon so we can do the upgrade as well. Let's go ahead and find the last symbol, which should be somewhere over here. If not, it's going to be in the master bedroom. Alright, and we got the wonder weapon. Okay, so now we got to make sure we don't go down because it's my mule kick weapon and it would suck if I lose this. Alright, so now we use our tuning forks. We open this up and we kill the werewolf. And I really hope Luna doesn't come out because that shit would suck. Alright, so to upgrade the wonder weapon, you get the premium materia from the wolf. And then now just come over here. We pop this in there, wait a couple seconds, and now we wait for this thing to shoot out the premium materia, or the upgrade part. Alright, so now all we gotta do is craft this thing, and we'll be good to go. Alright, so since we got the upgraded wonder weapon already, we can go ahead and start working on the second upgrade. But before we do that, let's go ahead and look into the crystals again so we can officially start this Easter egg. And then we can move on to the best step in the map, the Atlas step. I remember the first time I was trying to do this Easter egg, I completely forgot that you had to look into the crystals again. So I was so lost, dude. I was trying to figure it out for like an hour because I didn't want to look at a guide. I was trying to challenge myself to do it without looking at a video, but I had to cave in because my stupid ass couldn't figure out that you had to look back into the crystals. Now, where is this last zombie shield part? I'm not... Alright, now that we look into the crystals, we gotta go to the graveyard. And in the meantime, we'll go ahead and also grab the second premium materia for the upgrade. You can also look for the stone. The gravestone has the year 1912 on it. But to get the second premium material, all you gotta do is shoot the lights that look red. You can have a vampire that spawns in with a really weird hitbox. Sometimes you'll get it on the first try, sometimes you'll miss it a bunch of times. And that's the beauty of this map. And then don't forget to shoot this thing as well. And then now we can officially start the Easter egg. And I'm gonna show you guys a trick, an awesome trick to solve this Easter egg step. Alright, so the trick's pretty simple. You start off with the center, you turn it right until the blue light is on. You do have to be careful though, because we do have Victorious Tortoise. If the zombie kills me, he will die because of the explosion of my zombie shield. So we'll go ahead and freeze him over here, and then you do this light. Alright, I messed up. It's supposed to be the green one, and then this one's got to be the blue light, and then this one, turn it into red. I really wish I could have gotten time slip from the Perkaholic. Time slip comes in so handy in this game. And then now you do the green one again. And now we start the hardest step on this Easter egg. In case you guys don't know how to do it, it's pretty simple. It'd be a little bit annoying, but so you got a symbol right here, right? And then now, since you got your astrology symbol, you gotta find scratch marks around the area that they're at. So for this one right here, so we got 3, and then there's gonna be another ones up there, but it looks like there aren't any. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 8 total. And then there's gonna be another symbol over here. You just simply go prone. We have another one right here. Write it down. And the scratch marks for this one are going to be right here. So we got 3. Let me freeze the zombie again. This is why Winter Cell is so good. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 13. And then another location for the symbols could be over here. Look at that. We found all of them already. So we got the M sign. And the scratch marks for that symbol they're gonna be right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 up here as well, but there's none. And then over here, so we got 1, 2, 3. And then just to double check, I'm just gonna verify again that we got the correct number of scratch marks, because I don't want to do this again. Now we gotta input the symbols from lowest to highest. So you come up here, just interact with this thing, and then we got that one and that one. And let's go ahead and freeze the zombie again, because we need to turn this little valve, and then you bash it. And then once that's done, we come down here, we activate the trap, and then we pass through it. We have the lightning on our shield. We want to hurry up, and then you melee this, and that step is done. And then after that's done, we'll go ahead and focus on upgrading the wonder weapon first before we continue on with the Easter egg, because this is when you need the upgraded chaos theory. Without it, you won't be able to continue with the Easter egg. So now we gotta wait for a zombie to walk over this little pile of mushrooms and dirt, and then shoot him. Do not shoot the ground. You gotta shoot the zombie directly, because you'll mess it up. This is why I don't like Luna, man. Yeah, well, Luna's interrupting my process, so I can continue with the Easter egg, because Luna decided to come out at the worst time. And then now the zombie will dig up the shrooms, hopefully the pieces there, because Luna messed it all up. Anyway, so that was in the pile of dirt. We can come down here and look at the other ones. Another one right here. The cool thing about this one is a zombie spawn right here, so they can just shoot them as soon as they come down. So it was in there. It's going to be one more spawn down over here in the middle. There we go. We got the peas. Alright, so now that we got that, let's go ahead and pack a punch our Spitfire, because we're going to need it for the next upcoming lockdown we got to do. So go ahead and pop this in. And this is why I like time slip, because it makes the pack a punch process so much faster. And that's what I was saying on my previous video, that it would be so cool if they would bring back time slip, especially for classic mode. I'm assuming that they're going to keep the same animations for everything. And I understand weapon rarity is not going to be a thing. At least I don't think so. Still, I would love to see them integrate time slip somehow into the game. All right, so now we just got to go ahead and do this lockdown, so we can go ahead and fill up this little green bag. We can grab the last piece for the upgrade for the wonder weapon. And then we're going to go ahead and pop a shield sub, so we can renew our shield without having to go all the way over there. So once you guys have done the step over here with the symbols, this rock is going to spawn in, interact with it, and then we're going to go ahead and start our lockdown. So for this, you guys want to kill the vampires with the chaos theory, so you can grab so we have our first werewolf. Go ahead and knock him out. Alright, so after you kill the werewolves, you'll be done with the lockdown. Go ahead and interact with the rock, and you'll get a max ammo. Those lockdowns can get a little bit annoying, but just do how I did it there. Just shoot down a couple shots of the wonder weapon on the floor, and make sure you have Victorious Tortoise, because that's going to help you a lot, especially in the boss fight, because you got to run around a lot. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and grab the last piece that we need to upgrade the Chaos Theory. So once you fill up your vial, you're going to go ahead and come over here and summon the Nosferatu, which is like a more stocky vampire. But once he jumps down, just do this. And if you guys get stuck, just pull out your specialist weapon and then just grab that premium material. If you guys want a full-on guide, I'm going to leave Joel's video down in the description below because that guide is the one that helped me learn the map and do the Easter egg for the first time. That video includes a lot of awesome information and good tips to do the boss fight and the Easter egg itself. That's how I learned how to do this. In the beginning, I was so lost in this map. So yeah, if you guys want a proper guide for this map, I'm going to leave the video down below so you guys can go check that out. Alright, so now that you have the Anister's Annihilator, go ahead and shoot this tree right here. And it's going to drop a branch, interact with it. And there's going to be 4 more trees that we need to interact with. It'll be this one right here. And then there's going to be one over here. And then there's going to be one right here, and then this one right here. So now what we gotta do, we gotta shoot a charge shot of the Anister's Annihilator. Alright, and now we're going to hell. Alright, now this step can get a little bit confusing just because the spawns for the ghost can be a little finicky. You can't miss the ghost. It's super easy to find and you have a decent amount of time to find it. You know, sometimes they'll spawn on windows. For the most part, I always see the ghost spawn over here. Most of the time they're just on random windows, and that's the thing that sucks about this step, is that it's so RNG dependent. There we go. So the most common spots I've seen the ghost spawn in, it's over there in the dining hall by the zombie shield area, master bedroom, and the wine cellar. I don't know if there are any other spawns. However, there are audio cues that the ghost leaves behind, so you can kind of listen for her. But for the most part, you just gotta walk by like near the barriers and she'll spawn in. So anyway, she's gonna get in here and reveal the second stone so we can commence our second lockdown. Interact with it to go back to normal, and now we're good to go. Now for this one, I highly recommend just shoot charge shots right here in this corner because a lot of zombies and vampires will spawn in from there. So once the werewolf spawns, you just go ahead and start training. And then now we just gotta wait for the werewolves to spawn in. Alright, that was the second lockdown down. Now we just gotta do the final lockdown and we'll be good to go with this Easter egg. So now this step's a little bit weird. Well, not weird, it's actually pretty simple. So now we're gonna activate this, shoot it with a charge shot. Alright, so the first fireplace is like this. Go here and then you head back down to the library and you'll do right and left, and then you head back up and you do the billiards room. And now we gotta wait for our trap to recharge because we're gonna use it again. All right, now for this one, for the fireplace, we can also use a trap for the library. So go ahead and the very first fireplace you're gonna hit is gonna be the one right here next to the Mosu, and then you go up the stairs and you go ahead and hit this one right here. We're gonna go ahead and do the one across the Mosu, and then we're gonna go ahead and do the one right here, and yeah, our gemstone. Now the reason why I picked up another fire core is because we're gonna need the one over here on the master bedroom. So go ahead and pop that into place. And this one's actually pretty simple. It might seem like it's the hardest one. Trophy room, master bedroom, and then you want to run, take a left, and then continue going. And you're going to go ahead and do the music room. And then the final fireplace is going to be the one on the dining hall, and hit that one. Alright, so after you've done all of that, we can finally begin the final step before the final lockdown. And honestly, I was having a hard time deciding what map to pick for Black Ops 4. That's because I like most of the maps. But I am going to knock out all of BO4 in the future. I want to do a series where I do all of Black Ops 4, 3, 2, maybe even BO1, and then do Infinite Warfare and World War 2, but I really need to hop back on World War 2 because I haven't played that game in years. So for that series, it's going to take a while for me to actually go through it because I gotta practice all the Easter eggs again. Black Ops 4 is still very fresh in my head. However, a lot of the dead, that's the only Easter egg that's I'm kind of iffy about because I need to practice it one more time before I record myself doing it because it's going to take way too long. Alright, I really hope we get the Helion Salvo here because I really want to get this Easter egg done and over with. So I was watching the Black Ops 7 reveal trailer for zombies, and I'm not gonna lie, it honestly looks pretty promising. I'm still like on doubts about it. I'm still holding out hope that zombies will be good. I don't know, we're gonna have to wait and see when the game comes out, and I'm really hoping that it's good. I don't want the game to be bad. I'm excited to play BO7 though. Battlefield 6, I'm also very excited to play that. Honestly, at this point, I'm just playing Call of Duty for zombies, so I don't really care about the multiplayer as much anymore. I still wish they would bring back the Chaos story. They left us on such a good cliffhanger. Not with the new COD systems, not with the modern systems. I would love to see Chaos, but with the classic formula like this one. maybe not the perk system, because I know a lot of people did not like the perk system in this game. A lot of people would like to see the chaos story. Maybe some more people will come back and play Black Ops 4. You know, another cool thing I liked about BO4 was the master crafts, especially this one, because there's a whole Easter egg on it. And honestly, like shit like that is why I really like the older Treyarch titles, because they included so many like little hidden stuff in their games. And I feel like now they're just trying to pump out games as fast as they can, make their money. I'm just hoping that Treyarch and Activision get their shit together and actually put out a good title. Black Ops 6 wasn't bad. They had so many controversies, and I feel like they didn't put that much effort after Citadel de Mort came out. All right, now we can go ahead and do our final lockdown before the boss fight. All right, now we start this crazy boss fight. And this boss fight's not too bad. All you gotta do is make sure you're paying attention to where the werewolf's at, and then you flip your lights, make sure you align them right, and just watch that attack, because that will one-shot you. Now that all the lights are green, just go ahead and get on the platform, and now you just lay into them. So now be careful, because there are going to be Nosferatus spawning in, and just go ahead and keep killing the zombies. Like I said, the alien salvo makes everything so easy, dude. But all you gotta do is keep running around the arena, and see, this is what I mean. Like, you gotta be careful with the Nosferatus, because they'll mess you up. So then just come over here, and now just lay into them with the Spitfire, because this thing will shred through them. And that's it. That was Dead of the Night. Super simple boss fight. It's not too complicated. And now we get another cool cutscene. Alrighty then. So we are in Zombies in Spaceland. This is my favorite map in all of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Just had to lower my volume once again, because for some weird reason my game is super loud on every Call of Duty I've been playing. And we do have the director's mode unlocked, and that's because I am using the IW7 mod, and I did use an unlock all tool so we can have access to pretty much everything in the game. And honestly, this map is so much fun. I really like what they did with this map. I really enjoy playing the arcade. I also really like the Easter egg. The Easter egg is so much fun to do in this map. Starting off, we're gonna go ahead and play some arcade games so we can get some tickets. I turn on the power, and then we're gonna go ahead and play my favorite machine, which is the basketball one. This is the easiest way to get tickets. And then my second favorite machine to play, it's this one right here. All right, so we're gonna try and get up to 360 tickets. That way we can grab our stuff early on. And if you guys would like to see me run this all of Infinite Warfare without director's cut, I'd be down for it. And now the one machine that I suck at is the skee ball machine. I can never score anything on this, or sometimes it'll glitch out and do this. I don't know why. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can get 50 tickets. Look at that. Nice. All right, so we got 415 tickets. That's good enough. We'll just go ahead and activate this portal. The layout of the map is pretty good. I really like how open the park is, and I like all the areas around the park. Before we continue, we're going to go ahead and get rid of Mule Kick or Mule Munchies in this game. Only reason why is just in case I go down, because not gonna lie, the zombies do move a little bit more aggressive in this map, or in this game it seems. And the one thing I do not like about Infinite Warfare is the crawlers, because sometimes the crawlers, they sneak up on you. They hit you pretty fast. My second favorite map on this game is gotta be Attack of the Radioactive thing. I don't know why I really enjoy playing that map. I think it's because of the atmosphere. Old vintage 1950s atmosphere is pretty cool. And then you got Elvira on the map. And I am going to show you an awesome trick that I learned from Noodles to get a lot of points early in this map. And also he's the one that, his video was the one that I watched to get through this map, and he has some really cool advice. I'm gonna leave a link for that one as well, so you guys can go check that one out. Now, I know the community really likes Zombies in Spaceland. I know towards the end of the DLC cycle for this game, especially with the Beast from Beyond, I know that map is not very good from what I hear. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I never done the Easter eggs on Infinite Warfare until I started playing this. And you guys know I didn't really touch Infinite Warfare like that. And recently I've been grinding the game a lot, and it's been a lot of fun. Now, the only maps I've touched have been this one, Attack of the Radioactive thing, and Shaolin Shuffle. And I gotta say, I really enjoyed all three of those maps. I know the Easter egg for Shaolin is a little complicated, but I still want to give it a shot one of these days. But we'll see. And we do have the Black Ops 7 beta starting soon, and I'm really excited to play zombies. However, I did watch the COD Next stream, and honestly, I don't know how to feel about zombies yet. The game's not out. Just seeing the gameplay, dude, I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that the game is good, but we're going to have to wait and see. My main concern right now is that Treyarch's not going to listen to the community on what they want for the game. And that's the thing that worries me the most. See if we can try and get the battery here. Hopefully we can get it. I don't think we hit a single shot on that. All right, let's go ahead and give Hasselhoff all the parts. That's another thing I really liked about Infinite Warfare was all the celebrity halves that they included with the DLC maps. I thought the Kevin Smith one was really cool. And David Hasselhoff being Zombies in Spaceland is pretty nice. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and wait for the little cart from the water to come down so we can get the battery for the wonder weapon. Now the cool thing about this game is that you could be doing Easter egg steps at the end of a round and the zombies will not die unless they get killed by a trap. But other than that, at least they give you some time here, because I know because in Treyarch maps they just automatically die. So let's try and get this battery real quick. Let's see, we got it. Yeah, we did. Now we just gotta wait for it to respawn again. Hopefully, okay. We just gotta catch it out the water. There we go. Okay, never mind. Okay, so we're still in round 1. Let's go ahead and pack a punch handles, make them into the Mustangs and Sallys. I think I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna get some more points before we go ahead and do that. I mean, it's barely round 1. We can still do some more stuff. And I forgot to activate the portal in the Polar Peak. I also really like the music they chose for the map. They chose some really good songs. All right, let's activate our last portal and we'll have pack a punch open. Now, in case you guys are wondering why I grabbed the N1, you guys will see in a little bit once I recharge my Fatal Fortune cards. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I am a level 735 because I did use a mod menu to mess around in the game and I gave myself a lot of XP on accident. Now you might be wondering, how did this happen on accident? Well, I was messing with the mod menu and I accidentally pressed F on the keyboard when I was trying to adjust the levels, because I was just trying to make myself level 55 so I can have everything unlocked, and I ended up making myself level 735. So just making that clear, I don't want people to think that I'm gonna claim to be an infinite warfare god, because I'm really not. This Easter egg took me like 4 tries to get because I kept dying at the boss fight. So in the meantime, while we wait for the parts to get assembled so we can get the Ceticom, we'll go ahead and grab our arcane core so we can go ahead and start building our wonder weapon. Wonder weapon I'm going with, it's going to be the Shredder. That's my favorite one, and that's the one that you need for the Easter egg anyway. So we'll grab a rewind grenade and an arcane core. And now before we start making our points, we're just going to go ahead and go through this round melee only. I'm going to try and get the unlock token so we can get the boombox and the Medusa device that we need for the boss fight. I don't think I'm going to be making any more Black Ops 6 videos until way down the road. The only reason why is because I got pretty bored of Black Ops 6, and it might be crazy because I am level 500 on that game, but the only reason why I'm level 500 is because I did the Nebula grind early and I went and unlocked dark matter for my favorite guns. And I did the dark matter grind during a double XP weekend and I didn't have work, so all I did was play Black Ops 6 multiplayer. And since I'm not very good at the game, I was able to have decent lobbies. They weren't that sweaty. I mean, there was lobbies every once in a while that would get super sweaty, but for the most part the lobbies were okay for me because, like I mentioned, I'm not very good at multiplayer. And if you guys did the camel grind for Black Ops 6, you guys know that that's the best way to level up. So we're still waiting for the Ceticom to get built. We're just going to go ahead and finish this round so we can start grinding up those points. Because I do want to hit the box. I want to get an LMG because that thing is going to destroy the big boys that come out. So the trick is to not use your M1. You have to use either the candles or use it, just go melee only. And you guys will see what I'm talking about here in a little bit. But since we run out of ammo, I'm just going to go ahead and continue using my grenades, because trying to go melee only with the clowns can be a little bit risky because they do some damage to you, especially because they blow up. So the trick is to have scope dollars and eagle die on your deck, and then once you have both of them ready, have the M1, and you want to line up zombies. You want to try and get as many collaterals as you can because you have a limited amount of shots with the scope dollars card. The eagle eye does last a while. Or since we got 33,000, we're gonna go ahead and pack a punch the candles, and since we are playing in director's cut, we're gonna go ahead and double pack. We're gonna activate the UFOs, releasing them to the map. We could use a coupon clipper, but I think I'm gonna save that for when we get an LMG, because I do want to get an LMG for the big boys because they do shred through those guys. All right, so we got the Ceticom ready. We're gonna go ahead and see if we can start the Easter egg. This is the one step I did not like. Honestly, the lockdowns, they're a little annoying, especially because you don't get points as you're killing the zombies, and the zombies, like, they get a little bit stronger as you're doing it. We do need that souvenir coin. Let's go ahead and pop it over here so we can start building our boombox. Hopefully it'll be ready by the time we get to the boss fight. But so far I've gotten really unlucky with the souvenir coins. They take forever to spawn in, and I always end up with either one boombox. At least I get to build the Medusa device because you need to build the wonder weapon. And this step is pretty annoying because you can only do one locked per round, which is pretty annoying because there are 3 and there's 7 locations that you have to check, and not being able to do multiple lockdowns in one round is really dumb. I don't understand why they decided to do that. All right, we got one lockdown done already. Oh, actually I do need to get more tickets. I forgot about the crocodile teeth. Let's just go ahead and get rid of some zombies so we can have some room to breathe, because they can get a little annoying because these zombies seem to like pile up on top of you if you're not careful. Perfect. We have another red souvenir coin. So in case you guys never played Infinite Warfare, the reason why you need to get those tickets, obviously you guys saw me purchase the arcane core and the rewind grenade, but to upgrade our wonder weapon, well, not upgrade the wonder weapon, but to build it, we need to get a crystal that's locked behind the crocodile trap. And honestly, getting tickets in this game is so much fun. I really like playing the arcade games. I gotta make sure we don't go down here. I don't know where all these zombies came from. I thought there was one remaining, but I guess I was wrong. All right, we can go ahead and finish the round so we can continue knocking out the lockdowns. And I kind of, okay, now we're gonna keep this red souvenir coin. So that's the most important one, because we gotta build that Medusa device, and I gotta get the piece for the wonder weapon. And then the cool thing is that you can leave stuff in the machine and it'll stay there. I might go ahead and grind a couple more points, get rid of the scope dollars. That way we can maximize our points and try and hit the box for the LMG. I also want to try and get grass grenades, but those only come from the zombies. So for those, we just gotta get lucky. And now we gotta go find the second lockdown location. I've never gotten that location right there in the trap. I always seem to get the break room, the fountain over there next to the crocodile trap. And I've gotten it over here in the gift shop, but it's not, I don't get that one very often. All right, we're just going to go ahead and take a portal because I don't want to walk all the way over there. And I want to keep this door closed as well, because that's going to make our lockdown. If we do get the lockdown at the fountain, it's going to make it so much easier. I don't know why, but it feels like when I play as Will or Weiler, I feel like Hasselhoff takes a little bit longer with building the Steadicom, and it doesn't give you the same auto cues that he gives whenever you're playing as a regular character. All right, we got our second lockdown location here, and since we don't need any more red souvenir coins, we're gonna go ahead and swap those out. Now we need green and blue. Well, we need 1 blue and 4 green. The boss fight for this map could be a little bit annoying, especially with the zombies on top of you, and then you have the boss shooting the little ray gun that he has. But it's not a very complicated boss fight. Once you've done it once and you know how it works, you'll be all right. Believe me, it took me 4 tries to beat that boss. I always died in the boss fight. And a lot of those mistakes were my mistakes. I tried to rush the boss fight, but I know, like with Infinite Warfare zombies, you got to be a little bit more careful because the zombies seem to be a little bit more aggressive on this game. And the mechanics of the zombies are a little weird to get used to, especially after I've been playing Treyarch zombies like for years now. Because I remember this game came out, I didn't give it a try. I just ignored it because I didn't want to play another futuristic COD. And I didn't even get it for zombies either. And now I realized that was a big mistake. I should have given this game a chance. Well, at least the zombies. I remember back in Black Ops 2, I used to be like a huge multiplayer nerd. And I don't know what happened with me that I just started playing zombies and I could never go back to it. Multiplayer just kind of died for me during COD Ghost. I mean, for Advanced Warfare, since I couldn't afford the DLC, I couldn't play Exo Zombies, and I've never played Exo Zombies, but I hear many people complain about that game. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and find our last lockdown location, and we should be good to go to start building our wonder weapon. And this location right here is very good because the zombies only come from there and right here. And I forgot to go deposit my souvenir coin. That's a problem because in case I get a green one, I'm gonna have to get rid of the blue one, and we still need 1 more blue one. And that's the one thing that took me a while to learn about this game was the combinations of souvenir coins, because they either make a sentry turret, and I know some of them require like different colors to make the wonder weapon part. Oh, and then another thing I saw during the COD Next live streams was the pack camo for the new zombies map, and honestly I thought it looked like the one from Doom. All right, so I think that was the final, yeah, that was the final lockdown. I lost track of it, but I remember now. We did the one in the break room and then the one over there. So we'll just go ahead and go back with the Hasselhoff, and we can go ahead and turn in our Steadicom. And then now we just gotta wait 2 more rounds so he can give us a speaker. In the meantime, let's just go ahead and build the wonder weapon. Okay, so now all we gotta do is go ahead and pile up some zombies and activate the trap so we can get the UFO to start roaming around this area of the map so we can feed it some souls. I just want to try and go ahead and keep some space from the zombies because they can glue on to you. All right, I think we should have enough zombies right here. Let's go ahead and activate this. Be careful because it can still hit you. That's a little UFO we gotta follow around. Never mind, we got a clown around. I don't think the clowns count. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Yep, they don't. All right. In the meantime, since it's a clown round, let's go ahead and go deposit the souvenir coin because I keep forgetting, and I'm gonna forget at the very end. So let's just go ahead and knock it out now. We'll have the boombox ready for the boss fight, and we're still missing 1 more green coin. Feeding in the UFO souls, it could get a little bit annoying because it keeps moving around. But aside from that, this is not a bad wonder weapon upgrade process. I actually really enjoy it. Now we have this big dude here. Let's go ahead and get him through the crocodile trap. Hopefully he doesn't start shooting lasers at me. Yep, he's doing the laser attack. That's fine. Come on. There we go. So those teeth broke. Let's just go ahead and get them out the way now. All right, and I did forget to get the crocodile teeth. I don't know why I've been super forgetful lately, not just with video games, but with school as well. I almost forgot to take a calculus 2 exam last week. Thankfully, I knocked it out like at 11 o'clock at night. And the cool thing is that it wasn't that long of an exam, so we were good to go on that. All right, so now we got the golden teeth. We can go ahead and put them in the crocodile. All right, we got the golden teeth on there. I'm just gonna go ahead and activate the trap one more time so we can safely go through it. Go ahead and shut this. And then we'll go collect our part. And now we're ready for the boss fight. Let's just go ahead and go build our wonder weapon. All right, let's go ahead and pack our wonder weapon and we should be good to go. Now, the one thing that did piss me off about this boss fight is that Neil gets in the way a lot, dude. Every time I'm trying to do something like a step or the Simon Says step, this little robot gets in the way and it's so annoying. Let me grab the Medusa device before I forget. And then we'll place that down, set up the speakers, grab our boombox, and then we are good to go. So go ahead and place that there, like here. And now we have the last part right here. Now he does it in that specific order, so you always have yellow, blue, red, and green, but I still write it down because I'm kind of dumb and I'll forget or I'll mess it up. All right, so it's yellow, blue, green, red. So now we got to watch the spaceship. So yellow, let me write this down because I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna forget halfway through. And then you also want to wait for the entire little tune to finish playing. So all right, now we can do. All right, I messed it up. That was my fault. See, I told you guys I was gonna forget somehow the ECU step, and I messed it up. All right, we got a free max ammo after every successful pattern that we do. Now it's gonna flip through the order real quick, and then it's gonna give us another Simon Says step. As you're doing this step, you want to keep a focus on the zombies because they can just sneak up on you and then you'll get stuck and die. That's how I've died multiple times already. All right, I already fucked it up. Okay, and we're dead. Okay, we have an afterlife coin. We can go ahead and go back. All right, before we continue with the boss fight, make sure we pick up our stuff and grab weapon atoms. All right, we got to do this step one more time, and it should be the last one. And then this is gonna start shooting out clowns as well. Okay, why am I lagging? I'm so low. All right, I guess we gotta do it one more. It's 4 times. Oh, never mind. So we're gonna have the aliens spawn in now, and then we're also gonna have clowns spawning in, which is pretty annoying. All right, we accidentally ended the round 2, so we're kind of cooked here. And now we gotta lock in and try not to die. So just like the Eisendrache fight, you want to be constantly moving. You know, be careful with the alien because he can shoot those lasers at you that are gonna slow you down, leaving you open to attacks from the zombies. But we'll be okay because we do have the shredder and we have a boombox here that we can use. So there's the alien. Another card that I recommend you guys use during the boss fight, honestly, it's Minuteman. That's gonna double pack your gun temporarily, and then you have to be very careful around here too because you'll get stuck in random parts of the map. All right, so now as soon as you knife him on his fuse, back away because he's gonna release an explosion that's gonna leave you one shot. All right, so for now we're just gonna go ahead and continue training the zombie so we can get a clear line of sight on the alien, and we'll take shots at him every once in a while so we can continue applying that damage to him. And you want to try and shoot him on his necklace. All right, now I gotta be careful with him here. See, like that little ray gun shot does 2 hits of damage, which could be extremely dangerous, especially if there's a whole train behind you because they're gonna beat the shit out of you. All right, so now we got like just 2 zombies left. Let's go ahead and focus on the alien. Let's regen our health real quick, move out the way, continue moving. Don't stop moving in this boss fight. So now we gotta back away from him. He's gonna spawn in his little protective bubble. All right, back away. He's gonna blow up and grab our max ammo. Like I said, Neil is in the way a lot. You wanna always have a clear path to where you're going. All right, so we killed the alien now. Now what we gotta do, we pick up our alien fuse and we can literally double pack now, but you gotta shoot these little lights in the portal. We'll save that one for last because you need to line up the UFO with the teleporter to pack. So, and we got the UFO destroyed. And that was an Easter egg for zombies in Spaceland. It was a pretty fun Easter egg. So now we can pick up our soul key and we're done with the Easter egg. And I forgot you can't skip the credits. So we're just gonna go ahead and move on to our last map, which is Mob of the Dead. Alright, so we're in my favorite Black Ops 2 map, Mob of the Dead. And as you guys know, I love this map. I've even made a whole video revisiting the 3 versions of the map. Well, 2 official versions and 1 fan-made, but the fan-made version is so good. And I'll leave that video, I'll put it up on the screen now, so if you guys want to go check that out after watching this one. So for this Easter egg, we are going to be using the Black Ops Reimagined mod. And the only reason why I'm using that mod, it doesn't like grant you anything special or different. It does do some cool changes to the game, like your sprint speed is unlimited, your melee range is increased to be like in Black Ops 1. and you are 3 hit down. And the only reason I'm using this mod is because I needed to do the Easter egg solo. And I tried using the script. I don't know if you guys saw the script load up, but I have a script that pretty much allows you to do the Easter egg solo on Black Ops 2. However, the one time I tried it, it did not work. I think you're supposed to go into custom games and knock out the Easter egg that way, but you only get one afterlife because the game assumes you're playing with multiple players. All right, so the strat here is just to grab the double points, get as many points as we possibly can, and then we're gonna go ahead and open this up. So I'm not too sure on how speedrunners do that glitch where you can kill yourself with a grenade, and then as soon as you go into afterlife, press the interrupt button and you get to unlock doors for free. I tried it and I couldn't figure it out. I need to check if the key's here. I don't think it's here. Yeah, it's not here. You can always just go up here. I know you could do this. I forgot you could do this. So unfortunately, we did not get the key over here, so it's going to be over in this side. And what I'm trying to do, oh, and I forgot to mention, is that for some reason the mod loads me up with the zombie shield and the acid gap already built, which sucks because I mean, that saves a lot of time, but I know where everything's at in this map. So unfortunately, we are going to have to use all of our afterlives. So real quick, I mean, we have the box here. And acid gap part can also spawn right here and somewhere over here. I'm just going to show you guys like some of the stuff, and I forgot to open up speed cola. That's all right. We'll do that later. So save your last zombie in run 1. Just go ahead and head down to the laundry room or the showers. All right, and then the trick is that you're supposed to get a double points over here, but I don't think we got one. We got an insta kill, which is all right. We're still gonna get a decent amount of points. So we unlock this, and then another cool thing about this mod is that we have PhD flopper in the map now, and then we also have extra perks like mule kick in this map. I'm not too sure in the other maps. I just installed this mod, and then the bad thing is that I was having issues trying to run the game using this mod because every time I would try to run it, my game would just crash. So it took me about like 2 hours to figure it out. So now unfortunately we did have to waste all of our afterlives. It's all right, we'll continue. And there's an issue. I think there's an issue with the mod where when Brutus will throw the smoke grenades down on the floor when you're doing enough damage to him, he will kill the zombies. So if you're trying to do the Hell's Redeemer upgrade, I think that messes it up. I haven't tried it yet, but I think it will mess you up, mess your process up, because you're not supposed to kill zombies with anything else other than the Hell's Retriever. Oh my god, that is so lucky right there. Now, unfortunately, we ran out of ammo, but that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and grab our sheets. Let's go ahead and get enough points to open up the door so we can start feeding the dog. I did not mean to grab that, dude. Oh, okay, so that's going to hinder our progress a little bit, but there's no problem. We'll continue. So I'm thinking of grabbing this so we can just melee the zombies, but I don't think they're going to spawn fast enough. And it's run 2. It's all right. We can save that for when we come back and have to open the cafeteria. Don't forget to throw away your grenades to get those extra points. All right, I didn't mean to do that. At least we got one zombie in. And then I'm going to show you guys how I like to open up the map with the afterlives, trying to use them as efficiently as possible. As you guys saw, this mod does replace a lot of the wall weapons. Like the M14 gets replaced by the SMR, the worst gun in Black Ops 2 Zombies, dude. However, the MP5 gets replaced by the MSMC, which is okay. The only thing I did not like about the mod is that the ammo count for a lot of the guns is really, really low. So just go ahead and go through round 2, and then we'll go ahead and get another afterlife because we are going to need 2 of them. Now, I'm not too sure if the mod is replacing the drops and the cells. So we're going to go ahead and craft our acid gas kit here. Like I said, this mod does load you up with everything, with all the craftables built except the plane, obviously. And what we're going to do now, we're just going to go ahead and get through round 2 so we can get another afterlife. And I don't think we're going to have the second lock filled until maybe round 4. Alright, so first things first, when you go into afterlife, you want to go ahead and turn on the gondola because we need to get Juggernaut as fast as we can. And then you come over here. I don't think I'm going to get electric cherry. So we already unlocked all this, so we don't got to worry about that. That's alright. Normally, I'll go in and unlock the warden's office and all that, and then we'll just go ahead and open up electric cherry. And they do remove the perk limit here. I like to get some zombies out the way because they'll get, there's a possibility they'll just be around you when you're down in afterlife. Let's go ahead and take the gondola down a jug. We gotta save up to at least 4,000 points so we can get Juggernaut and unlock the power door. That way we can do everything down here with one afterlife use. Just don't forget to unlock the door over here. I know there's a trick so you don't have to unlock the door. Just shoot it, just jump and shoot it with the afterlife, but we're not gonna do that. And that's the thing I like about Mob. There's so many little tricks and techniques that players use. So the main thing is that we need to get as many points as we possibly can. And all right, nice, we got a max ammo. We can go ahead and use our M1911 to get some more points. If I can get the script working to do the Easter egg solo in the normal game, I think I might stick with the normal game. I mean, the mod itself is amazing. Like the changes they implement are really cool. All right, so now that we have enough points to open up the door, let's just go ahead and knock this out. So open this. All right, and then now we can turn on the power. All right, so now after you got the power turned on, let's go ahead and go grab that piece for the plane. And what's crazy is that I always forget to grab this piece. And then after grabbing Jug, we gotta save up another 3,000 points so we can open up this part of the map. And hopefully we can get another double points. If not, we'll just go ahead and use our awesome MSMC. So you guys are noticing here is since it's round 4, you gotta do 3 shots to the leg and then melee. Okay, so the bad thing about this mod is that whenever you build the zombie shield, you need to pay 1,000 points to get one instead of it being free. All right, in the meantime, let's go ahead and go grab the other part of the plane. We'll come back and open this up later because it is going to take a while. We can always go down to this area through the double tap door. Now you do have to be careful in the warden's office because the zombies do come in from everywhere. The bad thing about mob is just trying to get as many points as you possibly can because a lot of these doors are really expensive. And I forgot there's an insta kill down here. We can go ahead and grab that with the double points. Let's go ahead and make some money real quick. And this is why I love the golden spork. That thing carried me to round 30. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and grab a double tap. And I don't think we're going to need the afterlife one more time, since we do have, I believe, 3. And that's the bad thing about this mod. It doesn't show you how many afterlives you have left. I mean, I kind of want to open this, but let's go ahead and grab double tap first. That way we can open up the cafeteria. We'll train there for a little bit, get some points, and then we'll continue with building the plane. And before I forget, we gotta turn on speed cola. All right, so I'm not gonna open this yet because I'm not gonna have enough points to open the second door. And we are gonna be doing the free Blundergat Easter egg. Unless we get it from the box, I'll be crazy, but I always end up getting the same weapons. I'll take the QVV, it's a decent gun. All right, let's open up the cafeteria and we'll go ahead and craft our zombie shield. But like I said, we do need 1,000 points to use it. I'll leave a link for the mod down in the description below so you guys can go check it out for yourself. He did mention you can go into the source code and modify the mod to kind of like make it how you would like the mod to be, which is really cool. I mean, I only know how to program in Java, and I believe the programming language for Black Ops 2 is C#, if I'm not mistaken, or GSC. I'm not too sure on what language you'd have to use to modify the mod. I mean, I could pretty much do it, just translate the code over to Java and then modify the mod, but I'm not gonna do all that just to play Black Ops 2. Don't get me wrong though, I love this game. I think we have enough to open up that door. Let's go ahead and beat the last dog so we can get our health retriever and we can officially start the Easter egg. Actually, no, we still gotta build the plane and go to the Golden Gate Bridge at least once. And then I know I mentioned that I always forget to grab the piece by Juggernaut and I forgot to grab it again. So the reason I grabbed double tap early is because training in this little area could be a little bit tricky sometimes, and sometimes you need to get the zombies out of your way, and the regular MSMC is not very strong. All right, so the dog is done. Let's go ahead and go grab the Hell's Redeemer, and then we'll go grab the last 2 plane parts. And I think we do have 2 afterlives, but I think I want to wait on going down to the Golden Gate Bridge until I have enough to pack a punch, because I want to keep the QBV. So I believe this door is 1,000 points. So we'll just go ahead and save up for that, and then we'll come back and grab the last 2 pieces of the plane. All right, so we got the Hell's Retriever. We just took it down because I got stuck with the Hell's Retriever animation. And this is why I like the Golden Spork, because it gets you out of sticky situations like that, because you can just melee the zombies out the way. All right, so now we gotta save up more points because I messed that up. Let's go ahead and grab this max ammo. I mean, I need the MSMC to make as many points as possible. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and stay here for another round so we can get our perks back and build another afterlife, because we do need 2. All right, so I forgot to show you guys. So in case you guys are doing the regular version of mob, you can have a keys for the Aztecat upgrade spawn over here on this little tray right here. If it's not there, it's gonna be over here in the infirmary, over here in that little glass, or it's gonna be somewhere on the floor around this area. But you can't miss it. It's a neon green piece, so it's like right there. It really pops, so it would be impossible to miss in this dark ass map. Now I did wanted to play the Black Ops 3 remastered for this run, but I don't know, man. The Black Ops 3 remaster it looks absolutely beautiful, but I don't know, it's something about the original that just attracts me more than the remaster for Black Ops 3. I mean, it's technically the same systems, it's just obviously with Black Ops 3 movement and weapon play, but I still prefer the good old mob. All right, so now we're in the Golden Gate Bridge. We're gonna go ahead and train the zombies so we can get enough points to pack. Thankfully, we do have Brutus spawning in. We should be able to take him out pretty easily. And then you guys will notice that the electric shears are there already. With this mod, you don't have to rebuild the plane because it'll automatically rebuild it for you. All right, so we have enough to pack. Let's go ahead and put this in the pack-a-punch. All right, let's go ahead and start grabbing our skulls. Okay, I forgot you have to open the door over there. I forgot. I thought it would open automatically with this one. That's okay. We can grab the piece over at Speed Cola. Then we'll go grab the second skull over here in Spawn. So here's our first skull location. Downloaded a script for a mod menu for this game, and it was making my game crash a lot, so I decided to get rid of it. And the reason why I was going to use the mod menu is because it allows you to spawn in a bot on the last step of the Easter egg, where you can just go ahead and get on the plane in afterlife mode, and then the bot will just follow you and you just kill him. Alright, so we already got our skull over there. Let's go ahead and go grab the last two. I forgot to mention they did modify the acid gat, the blunder gat in general. And like I mentioned, they do adjust like the ammo count on all the weapons for some reason. And who knows, maybe if you guys want me to keep using this mod, I can go into the source code and modify it, but I'll have to really look into it because like I mentioned, the code is in a language that I don't know. The syntax will be different and I'd have to translate to Java. And before the good programmers start talking shit to me, I'm barely learning how to program. I'm not like some programming genius, but I'm learning though. It's a process, and I'm actually having a lot of fun learning programming. It's so much fun. All right, so we got the auto queue. We can go ahead and go grab our free blunder gat, and then we're gonna also get PhD because PhD does help with the explosion damage of the acid gat, which is really nice. Just goes to show that Treyarch could have added PhD to the map, but they decided not to do that. All right, so we got our free blunder gat. Let's go ahead and start this Easter egg. So first things first, we need to get rid of that poster using our Hell's Retriever or Redeemer. I keep forgetting which one we have. Well, we have the regular version, obviously. We're not going to do the upgrade this video. So now we open that up. We have to go in Afterlife over here. And then this little brand new hole is going to open up. And then you have your spoon over here. You shock it and you'll hear that laugh. And then now we go over to the cafeteria and you have the spork over there. Let's go ahead and grab that. And you'll hear Brutus talking shit to you. And then you come up to the infirmary, and then now we need to convert the blunder gat into the acid gat and get kills down in the showers, so we're not going to go ahead and do that yet because we don't have points. So now all we gotta do is come back over here and then we can start our acid gat conversion. We can go back down to the showers and we'll go ahead and get PhD in order to avoid the explosion damage. But all you gotta do is pretty easy, just get kills with the acid gat down here. So now we can get PhD, and I believe you need to get like 60 kills, 80 kills. And we're almost done with the Easter egg. All we gotta do is go back on the plane, go to the bridge again one last time, and we'll be able to come back down here and go mess with the numpad. Alright, so we got the auto queue. We can go ahead and grab our golden spork, but we're going to continue killing some zombies, leave some zombies left because I don't want to get trapped in the infirmary. Oh, we have another double points drop. If this was World at War, we'd be getting quadruple points. And yeah, that's the thing, in case you guys didn't know, in World at War, if you get 2 double point drops, you get quadruple points, which is really cool, and I wish it would have kept that in the modern games. So I played Black Ops 7. I do have a video coming out for that. I'm not going to talk about Black Ops 7 until I make that video because honestly, guys, the game for me felt really mid. Alright, so we got our golden spork, and then another cool thing about this mod is you can do this. Alright, so now we gotta go to the Golden Gate Bridge one last time, and then after that we gotta go back down to the Citadel tunnels and mess with the numpad, and that's gonna be it. Alright, so now on the regular game you're supposed to come over here and input the codes. I'll put the codes up on the screen so you guys can look at them, but for here you only gotta... Alright, so after the audio queue ends, these little headphones are going to spawn around the map. All you gotta do is pick them up and then they'll start playing more of the lore. Alright, so we're grabbing our last pair of headphones, and the next step is to hop on the plane in afterlife mode, and with this mod it'll automatically finish the game, saying that the cycle is broken. Alright, so now that we got all of our headphones, let's go ahead and get in afterlife. So now we hop on the plane, we're in afterlife mode, and we can finish Mob of the Dead. Alright, so now that we're back in the Golden Gate Bridge in Afterlife, just revive yourself, and with the mod, we'll end the Easter egg. Alright guys, that was Mob of the Dead. This is my absolute favorite map in all of Black Ops 2. But thank you guys so much for coming out and showing support. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.